Hello everyone, I'm Eve from the Dyspraxia System, and today I want to talk about what can happen if you, as a victim, you see other people talk badly about your source, and especially if people in the system do that. I have personal experience with this. Well, maybe these hearings weren't the best choice. Well, they show all of them. Okay. So yeah, me and Lance are both victims from Voltron, and we were formed when the last season aired. Around that time, Lucky was watching the last season. And Lucky had finished all of it, and then we were formed to help deal with the situation. And Bob to help deal with the emotions that came from that situation mostly. But at this time, we were at an event in London. This was already a few years ago, and well, few too, I think, 1 or 2 years ago. And well, we had found a friend who we don't talk to anymore. I think it was basically just friend for at the convention. But I had found this person and don't remember their pronouns, so I'm just gonna use they them. They were really in the Voltron fandom, like heavily in the Voltron fandom. So they also got us into the Voltron fandom. Well, mostly Loki. And, well, everyone was criticizing about the last season. And honestly, most of their criticism about what happened in the show, if you watch it again without thinking about all of that, you see that they were really overreacting. I mean, it's subtle, some things, but it's definitely there. I mean, we rewatched it recently because me and Lance wanted to finish watching our source, and Loki now sees that a lot of was overreacting. They already in the I will just use she, her for Loki because that makes it less confusing. She already saw what the people in the fandom were overreacting a bit at the time, but not as much as she does now. But yeah, that person that we met back then, they had a lot of criticism, like a lot. There was basically not a good thing about Voltron, I think, according to them. So I'm not sure why they were a fan then, but yeah, they got us into the Voltron fandom, and Loki was really into the fandom, following a lot of what was happening, but also a thing that happened in the fandom was that they criticized the show so much, they hated the show so much, that they made their own alternate universe of the show. Like, everything that happened in the show, just they had different names and there was a different outcome. We didn't really invest in it because Loki already hated it at the time, but like, that's how far they took it. That's how far, like, they didn't want to acknowledge the source at all. They were like, no, we're making our own with the characters from the show, but they have a different name now. And was it really that bad that Lance ended up with Laura? Really, was it that bad that Shero's fiance died? What? That was most of their criticism. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I mean, yeah, it was really sad that Shiro's fiance had died. And I can know because I was there and I knew his fiance as well. But to make an entire alternate universe where that doesn't happen, pretty sure they made it so that Lance and me ended up together instead of Lance and Laura. And they pretty sure they made it so that Shiro's fiance was still alive. Also, this is still a thing that's going around because I still see the new names being used in the fandom. We're not really into the fandom, but like we saw that still going around. Like, excuse me, why? It's been a couple of years. What? Why? Why? I don't. But yeah, I saw this hate. I saw people criticizing it, saying it was harmful and that it was bad and they were burying their gays and that was really problematic and stuff. And Loki was going along with most of that too. Sure, it's easy to get hung up on what other people saying and go along with it, but really? So yeah, me and Len saw that, and Len's a bit more sensitive than I am, but we both just immediately decided to go dormant. Like, we were supposed to help, right, with the situation, but the way Loki dealt with the emotion he got from the situation was to delve into the Fultron fandom and into anime, which is why we end up with a couple more fictives. But that was their way of dealing with it. So of course, if that's their way and we're supposed to be here to help them deal with the situation as well, we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna happily look at criticism about us. No. Sure, there were some cute alternate universes made based on the actual show, but no. We just couldn't take it. So we went dormant immediately. So yeah, and even now it still affects us. Well, me not as much, but Lance definitely. I mean, we were both worried that we would get hate for being fictitious from the source that we are from, and Loki was scared of that too. But Lance really needed reassurance from Loki that she didn't see Lance as someone bad or source as something that, really needed that reassurance of it's okay. I don't mind. I like that you're here. Just want to get to know you. Really needed that reassurance. And even now, I'm sure if he sees someone say something bad about it, that whole break it down. And I do not want that. I don't. I mean, it hasn't happened. Luckily. But I don't want it to happen in the future. So yeah, that's what happened to us with this. And I'm sure we're not the only fictives who have had this happen to them. Or could probably even happen with fictives. Those are alters based on real people. probably could happen with them if they were based on a problematic person, or someone who is hated among a lot of people for whatever reason. Sure, that could happen too, but please, if you know the system was effective from a problematic source or a real problematic source or whatever, don't hold it against them. Don't, as a system member, engage with the fandom who is saying all that stuff, or people who are saying all that stuff, because it really, really harms the victim. So please, please don't. Look out for each other. Please just treat them as you would anyone else, and call them out for their own behavior, not from the behavior they had in their source, or creators of their source, what they had done. Don't hold their source against them, but also don't talk about the source badly unless they've said that it's okay to talk about the source badly. Don't talk about the source badly, and don't engage with anything that says that their source is bad, or stuff like that. Just look out for them. Reassure them that you don't hold it against them if needed. Just, treat them like you would any fictive, but be extra careful to make sure that they don't have the experience that me and Lance have. Alright, just try to look out for them. We really are extra looking out for all the bad stuff that we could see about Feltron, that we stay away from that. So please just look out for each other, and hopefully this story, this real life experience story, can help you see why it can be harmful to as fictives, fictives in general. Then, if our source really is problematic, of course we wouldn't like that either, right? We're not excusing any problematic things about any source or any creator or whatever. Just make sure you don't hold it against the altar, and that you don't talk about it with the altar or with other people, and that the altar can find out that you talked about it, because obviously you don't feel like, oh, so you don't actually care about me, because you still think, because you still openly talk about how bad my source is. Oh, alright, well, guess I'll leave that. Well, leave. Others can't really leave. We can go dormant, but you can't just decide to leave the system. So please just be careful and ask the fictive what they're okay with. Most of the time we'll know that our source is problematic. So just be careful. I don't want something that happened to me unless it happened to any other fictive or effective. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or whatever, leave them down below in the comments. If you want to follow us on social media, you can. It's down in the description. If you want to see more of our videos, make sure to subscribe and ring the bell to get notified when we upload a new video. We upload every Wednesday, and we'll see you all in the next video.